you hit the right point, James. Here we're saying about diversity, and it's have to be, there is some kind of integration.
Yes.
We don't want to like to segregate and keep out of the society. We need to be part of integrated well in the Canadian system, in the Canadian culture, in the Canadian economy, in the Canadian society. We are Canadian, and
Yes.
we have to say that. The problem is when you say there are people segregate and stay, they always go back home. They migrate. There is a reverse migration.
Hmm.
After a while, they find them, they still keep, thinking about that memory and goes back to this. But let's face it, our kids born here, our kids, their, future here. So we have to build something for us here. And this
Hmm.
is really important. And to make this as a Canadian culture is part of our culture too, and it's become like it's home.
Yes.
We have to call Halifax its home, and it is really it's our home, and because we are building so much nice memories, so much
Oh,
activities, which is really it is home. We cannot leave it. We miss it. We miss home. When we went to Qatar, we missed home. We missed Canada. So
yeah.
it's really we missed every bit of it. We had culture shock, believe it or not. I'm from Middle East. When I went to Qatar, as a Canadian, we had the culture shock
Yeah.
when we've seen some practices unethical, something is wrong, something to do with. Having said that, we are not saying we are not there. There is some issues here. Still, we are
Yes.
like other. We are have challenges, and we are working with the system to get these challenges off. I mean, the government is doing well, I think, trying
Hmm.
to, for example, reduce or eliminate Islamophobia. We, as a
Yes.
Muslim, we had this issue, and there are so many incidents because in nature of people, James, they are judgmental and stereotype. So when they look to your color, they look to your skin, they will say, oh boy, this is Muslim and things like that. Maybe they will look even for the veil or the clothes. So it will be, the
Hmm.
culture, the perception of people. It will think, uh, for example, if you protect your wife, oh, look, he's treating his wife something, as she's like a second or something. No, it's different. In our culture, it's kind of respect, part of respect. You do all those things.
Hmm.
So you need to be involved and open, and people understand and respect the culture of each entity in this, or even any visible minority people in this society. And we are growing, but we still facing few challenges. If you want me to talk about it,
Oh,
it's one
yes,
of them.
please. That is why
Yeah,
many immigrant, one of the biggest fear, real or perceived, is discrimination. So, as a Middle Eastern person, for me as a Chinese person, we either experience and or perceive discrimination. Can you tell us some of the perceive as well as encounter discrimination? You've been here for 20 years, on and off now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in Nova Scotia, I must say, there are some systematic discrimination. When we say there is a lot of skilled people is not working, it's not just because of the system. There is some systematic discrimination, whereas people, they cannot get the job, and that is really being identified, and ISIS is being working on that too,
Good.
and trying to reduce or eliminate that by people trying to prove themselves there. However, there are so many successful stories here. I could tell you about a lot of story in the construction business,
Hmm.
in retail business, in food industry business, but all these businesses, small businesses. But as a governmental, we have still issue. We still need to get more involvement. We need to get more hierarchy in that too. The other thing was I experienced some discrimination. I remember in 2015 when I came back to Nova Scotia again and get hired here, working here. As I said, one of my kids, his name is typically Muslim, is Abdullah, and he born in Qatar. And in the school, he is just racially discriminate that Abdullah born in Qatar, he need ESL, English
As a
language
second
as a
language.
second learner. I wish Abdullah he could speak the first language, to be honest, because he have siblings which is they speak English. It's easy for them to speak English, and Abdullah is the only kids maybe in my family not speaking Arabic well. They put him in ESL. Abdullah is really good writing or narrate stories. When he see movie, he will talk a lot about it, and he's very friendly and talkative, and yet he is in the ESL. Why?
Just
because
because of his name.
his name and born in Qatar.
Born
so
in
that's
Qatar,
it.
they thought that he couldn't
Yeah.
speak English. But English is actually his first language.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Abdullah been treated from his teacher, no stars, nothing to encourage him, and he left. He didn't like school. We used to drag him to school because he feel he don't enjoy it, while he wasn't even enjoying the school, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I met the ESL teacher, and her report, she said, Abdullah is fun to have in the classroom. He make it so interactive and so on, but I don't know what he's doing here. His English is fluent, his writing is excellent, and he don't even have an accent, as in. So yeah, I had to face the teacher and told her, and it was just the judging and the perceiving, and she apologized afterward. But we've been like full semester bad experience. Abdullah suffered from school, and she asked me to give her a chance to make it correct, to correct it, and she felt it. She went back and she felt all the bad experience to put Abdullah in this. So it was really very painful for my family. It wasn't not a good experience. My other son, his name is Ali. He used to travel a lot to Newfoundland. He said that I always been picked up as a randomly security check person. Just randomly.
Random, but always.
Yeah, they tell him, and he was making a joke about them. He told them when they told him step upside, he told them, guess what? I'm the randomly checked person. So it's really is like just because of his name and maybe his color as well. So he's always checked, and that's. And again, when he was driving, he been checked so many times, and to be honest, it's just because of the color. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, we do have this, and I think still the police recognize this when they announced 6 times, the let's say the Nova Scotian African descents, they have been checked more than the white people, and this is really could be part of that as well, the visible minority people as well in this percentage. So it's really high.
There is a saying, there is a saying here. I hope that it improves, and it better improve quickly. It's called driving while black.
Oh my God.
Yes, there is a saying. There is called driving while black, and they all police pick on them. So yes, it is a recognized problem. I hope that they are going to change soon.
Yeah, I mean, they are actually, they recognize it, and I think they apologize for that, and it's need to be more being done on this, actually. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of issues, but if we put Atlantic provinces considered far better than other provinces. And when we decide to Canada is far better than other countries. So when we are talking about here, there are minor incidents here and there. Mm-hmm. But my advice for every, let's say, immigrants from Middle East or from Asia, it have to be some adaptation and adjustment is being made.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, one of the adjustment maybe is funny. You think people think of it as a Middle Eastern Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
I never encourage my kids to go to a field of expertise in education where is some secret topic or some, involvement in military or something like, to do, because then they will be rejected and refused and they wouldn't understand it because they born here. They don't think they did wrong, but because of their origin, maybe, Muslim or something like that, the security check will deny them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really always something I don't encourage my kids to do. It's wrong. It's supposed to be, this is my country, but I know the limitations. So you have to sometime to adjust for a few things. Unfortunately, we have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we are not in the time, which is okay. We've seen people in these jobs, which is, their root or original Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really one of the things which is, the limitation. Could be similar things with China and,
Mm-hmm.
as always relate these things with 4G and 5G and so on. So it's really,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's become issue for people and they don't understand if they're not getting a job there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe in the future as well, the biology and so on. So, you have to be careful with these, and this is part of adapting. Maybe, violates the human rights, the right to do and things like that. But we know deep down there is something as well involvement some of these industry with United States, and United States will not give approval. So simple as that.
True.
So
Yeah.
that is one of the things here. There's a lot of involvement, a lot of interaction with the United States, with NATO, and so on. It's very difficult. So you have to stay in a field where is away from that. So that is really maybe we adjusted to that, and
But
part of adaptation.
if there's nobody apply for jobs like in the police or into working at Caesars or and all that, would this systematic discrimination actually keep on systematic?
It is, yeah, it is. The systematic racism. Well, partially, I know. Even I say that for myself. There are some people, there are some kids they still believe in, in the system, and they do apply for that. Uh, Again,
Mm-hmm.
there is no guarantee to get that. Again, there is. From my experience from the community, they've been denied. So I
Yes.
think it's the youth wish. Maybe will change soon. Maybe they should, sometime realize because it
Mm-hmm.
start. This is start from the top. We could see now there is changes in the top. Like there is few ministers. Their background is from different
Yes.
background. They are not. So maybe now is starting,
We
but we are not there. We are not there yet.
that I agree. We still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.